Long before Halloween became a parade of masks and candy, before electric lights pierced October's darkness, there was Samhain, a night when fire was more than warmth and shadows were more than fear. The Celts believed that as autumn surrendered to winter, the boundaries of the world loosened. Spirits drifted through fields, the dead whispered among the living, and bonfires roared to hold back the endless dark. It was not a festival of terror, but of reverence. Farmers gathered their last harvests, herders brought animals in from the wild, and families offered food to unseen guests, their ancestors returning for one fleeting night. Atop windy hills, druids lit great fires as beacons for both the living and the departed. Those flames were promises, that warmth and life would survive the cold, and that remembrance was stronger than death. When the Romans came, they did what all empires do. They absorbed what they could not destroy. Their harvest goddess Pomona, symbolized by the apple, fused with Celtic rituals. In this meeting of traditions, Samhain's solemn fire met Pomona's sweetness, giving rise to customs still recognizable today. The apple games, the gatherings, the moment of reflection before winter's descent. Centuries later, Christianity layered its own meaning atop the old beliefs. November 1st became All Saints' Day, and the night before, All Hallows' Eve. Yet the fires still burned. The villagers still wore masks. The dead were still remembered. Rituals simply found new names. Beneath the hymns and prayers, the pulse of Samhain continued to beat. The festival endured because it spoke to something universal. Humanity's need to mark the crossing between light and dark, life and death, fear and faith. In those ancient stories whispered by the Celts, Samhain was more than a date, it was a door. Legends told of the Ow's Sea, the shining folk who lived beneath green hills, emerging only when the veil thinned. They were not demons nor angels, but something older, guardians of the spaces between. Offerings of milk and honey were left for them, for to anger the unseen was to invite misfortune. The goddess Morrígan soared over battlefields in the form of a raven, heralding fate and death, yet also renewal. The druids, keepers of forgotten wisdom, taught that endings were never final, they were thresholds. These figures, half myth and half memory, gave Halloween its enduring archetypes. The witch, the spirit, the trickster, the guardian. In later centuries, storytellers reimagined them through Christian eyes. The Morrigan's darkness became the witch's mystery, the Ow's Sea became restless souls, and the trickster, like Ireland's stingy Jack, became a wandering man carrying a lantern through eternal night. His tale gave birth to the first carved turnip lanterns, which would, in America, become pumpkins glowing on porches. Through these evolving faces, the same message persisted. Halloween is a night of transformation. Masks are not just disguises. They are mirrors. They reveal what we fear and what we long to be. Every costume, every fire, every story retold on this night is an echo of the old world, reborn in ours. As the centuries rolled forward, the festival traveled, from the misty fields of Ireland to the medieval towns of Europe. In Scotland, it became a night of prophecy. Girls dropped hazelnuts into fires to test love's fate, and mirrors were said to reveal future husbands. In Wales, it was believed that spirits of the dead walked in silent processions, visiting the homes they once knew. And across Britain, children began to go door to door with songs and prayers, receiving bread and cakes for the souls of the departed, a practice known as souling. When these customs crossed the ocean with Irish and Scottish immigrants, they met the energy of a new world. America added its own symbols: the cornfield, the pumpkin, the suburban street lit by porch lights. Here, Halloween shed its solemn tone and became a festival of joy and imagination. Yet beneath the laughter, its roots remained, the instinct to light a candle against the unknown. Even its imagery holds layers of meaning. The black cat, both feared and revered. The raven, a messenger between worlds. The bonfire, protection through light. The mask, freedom through transformation. Each symbol a fragment of something far older than itself. When children run through the night in costume, they are unconsciously repeating a ritual that once kept entire villages safe. The form changed. The purpose did not. In the modern world, Halloween's magic took on new faces. What began as sacred ritual evolved into storytelling, art, and entertainment. But the fascination remained the same. The 19th century rediscovered folklore. The 20th turned it into cinema. From Dracula to The Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween became a language for exploring what we fear, desire, and imagine. Psychology explains why it captivates us. Fear, in small doses, sharpens our senses. When we watch horror films or walk through haunted houses, we reenact the ancient dance between safety and danger. It's the same instinct that made villagers gather around fires, confronting fear as a community, transforming it into laughter and relief. Ritual became recreation, but the human need behind it never vanished. Anthropologists call Halloween a liminal event, a space between worlds, where ordinary rules bend. Masks allow us to break identity and rebuild it. Fire becomes both boundary and beacon. For one night, we play with mortality, chaos, and transformation, then return to normal life cleansed and renewed. Science describes it. Myth explains it. Both are true. Look closely, and you'll see that Halloween never died, it simply adapted. Beneath the decorations and candy lies a 2,000-year heartbeat. The Night of Masks and Lanterns still carries the DNA of Samhain's fires, of All Hallows' prayers, of the stories whispered by druids under starlit skies. It is a reminder that fear can be beautiful when shared, that imagination can transform the darkest season into a celebration of life. It teaches that memory, community, and play are not opposites. They are how we survive the cold. So when you see the glow of a pumpkin or hear laughter in the dark, remember, this is not just a modern holiday. It is a living myth, a bridge across millennia, a moment where past and present meet in firelight. Halloween endures because it is, at its core, a story about humanity itself, about facing death with courage, transforming fear into wonder, and finding light in the shadows.